freshest, you bitch.
The scale went up this week. This is week 2 of losing 100 pounds. The scale went up this week. So, I'm a 41-year-old man. I'm going to be 42 in about 3 months. And if you never tapped into this before, this is a series I just started 2 weeks ago where I'm going to be losing 100 pounds in my 40s. So I'm going to lose 100 pounds. And not only am I losing 100 pounds, I'm going to get jacked in my 40s. I don't want to be a person that loses 100 and then, you know, you out here, you skinny fat and shit, and you know, you all fucking super fucking crazy flabby, and that happens a lot. A lot of people lose 100 pounds and they're just skinny fat and flabby. No. I'm gonna lose 100 pounds, but be fucking jacked. You dig what I'm saying? That's the whole goal. Because I got a lot of muscle mass. So, but anyways, the scale went up this week. It's gonna happen. Last week, I lost 5.8 pounds in 1 week, which was mainly water weight. You feel me? This week, I weighed in at 313.8. So it went up 1.4. The body fat went up. The body fat is still 27.3. That hasn't changed. The one thing that did go up was the muscle mass. The muscle mass went up. Last week it was 216. This week is 216.8. You feel me? So I don't really know how far to look into that. But it's just like, you know, it is what it is. This past week, it was a lot of lifting extremely, a lot of reps. I'm not crazy. I'm 41, so I'm not lifting crazy heavy like I used to. You know, when I was like 23, I was just doing crazy shit, benching 325 and squatting 400 and all that crazy shit, but I'm not on that no more. I'm 41, gonna be 42. So now it's just about realistically preserving my muscle mass and cutting the body fat. That's all I'm worried about. I don't really give a shit about nothing else. Cause like I said, I don't want to be like a lot of motherfuckers that lose 100 pounds and end up being skinny fat because all you did was cardio. You see these people who will lose an exorbitant amount of weight, but all they did was cardio. Didn't lift no fucking weights, or they didn't lift enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind doing cardio and weights, honestly, but I love doing the weights more. So my program is more or less, like I said, we do 15 minutes on the Stairmaster, on elliptical. And then I do about 9 sets of whatever muscle I'm doing. So I guess you would call it a bro split. I don't really give a shit. I mean, that's what works for me. 9 sets of 25 reps. So I'm not lifting crazy heavy. I'm not maxing out, but every single rep, every single set, I am fucking gassing my shit, gassing my muscles. So I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. Yeah, I went up 1.4 this week, week 2. I don't really give a shit. End of the day, I don't give a fuck. I was 340 pounds not that long ago. I'm 313, 313.8. So let's just say 314. And I had been thinking, I was just like, yeah, maybe I'll get down to about 270 and I'll keep a muscle mass. I don't think that's realistic. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get back down to what I was when I was thin. Well, not so much thin, but I was lean. The last time I was lean was 10 years ago. I was 240. I was 240 pounds. My body fat percentage was about 16% body fat. And this is before I moved in with my wife. And I'm not gonna blame her. But when I lived by myself, I didn't keep cookies and chips and soda and all that shit in my house. My house was bare bones minimum. Lean cuts of meat and vegetables and water. That's it. Green tea. I wasn't even drinking coffee yet. And I got to a point as I got older, I ended up moving in with my wife. I was about 31 at this time. And I went from 240 back to I went up to 285 and ballooned up to 300, and then COVID hit. And from COVID, man, I remember in those 9 months, I went from 300 to 320, and I just progressively got bigger. But this is how I look at it, man. This weight loss shit is spiritual. It's more spiritual than it is physical, because you know what, in the past, if I had seen that scale go up in the past, that shit might have broke my spirit for the morning or the week. You know what I mean? And I would have been like, fuck, man, I was dialed in. Last week I was dialed in. I worked out 5 times. I worked out real hard. You know, I went from 25 minutes of cardio to doing 30 with the weights, 30 minutes, lifting hard, giving everything I got in every set, breathing, eating good. And I just added more fucking weight. But that's just, you know, this is how it's gonna be. You know, this weight loss shit is gonna be very much like when I used to go hiking. 10 years ago, I used to hike every single morning. I lived in Hollywood, and I used to go to Runyon Canyon. I used to go to Runyon, I used to go to Griffith Park. And the reason why I love Griffith is because it was a park, I think it's actually a state park, or it might be a city park, I don't know. But it was a beautiful park in the middle of this metropolis. And as soon as you're in the middle of it, you don't even know you're in a big city. It feels like you're in the middle of a fucking forest. And the hikes, this weight loss shit is just like hiking, where the first elevation is gonna be difficult. When you first get started working out, it's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy, right? But you keep pushing through, and then eventually it levels out. And then you have parts in a hike where the hike starts to decline, right? It's not gonna be up the whole way. And then you get to a point at the hike where you're almost at the peak, and it's just a straight up shot. You know what I mean? And this weight loss shit is like that. You're gonna have weeks where you lose 3 pounds. You might have 2 weeks you lose 10, and then you might have 2-3 weeks where you don't lose a fucking thing. You might gain weight. So every week ain't gonna be, I lose weight. It's not gonna be that. It took me a decade to get this fucking big. And it's gonna take me a couple of years to completely change my body composition. Completely. To go from a 27, now I'm a 27% body fat, down to a fucking 15. And then eventually probably go down to a 12. But right now we shooting for 15, which would cut my body composition in half. You feel what I'm saying? So I look at this shit like it's just gonna take a long time. This ain't gonna happen in a year. It's not gonna happen in 6 months. You know, so I'm just gonna push through. I wanna thank everybody who commented last week on the video. You know, I appreciate y'all, man, for tapping in, because you really ain't got to. You got a hell of a life going on. You busy. You got shit going on. You got things you could be doing, but you tapping in with the game, and I appreciate that. But you know, this shit is like I said, this is more spiritual than anything. This whole thing is a very it's like I said, it's physical, but at the end of the day, it's a spiritual thing. Because in the past, when I would have hopped on the scale and I had seen an uptick, I would have fucking freaked out. I'd have been like, fuck, man, I'm going in the wrong direction. But look, man, I look at it like this. I can either continue to keep fucking around, gaining weight, put my health in serious risk, or I can continue to fight, lose this weight, stay consistent, and really change my life for the better. And that's what I'm trying to do. You know, I want a better quality of life. Ain't no point in me having money and, you know, I feel uncomfortable in certain situations in life because I'm over 300 fucking pounds. You dig? So we gonna keep fighting. So if you are in the same predicament as me right now, where you just like, damn, you ain't got started, but you want to get started, or maybe you in the middle of your shit with losing weight and you're having a plateau right now where you're just not losing no weight, trust me, I've been there, been there. You know, keep fighting. Don't give up on yourself, man. Don't give up on yourself, because this, I believe, is the hardest thing that I'm gonna do in my life. I'm fighting myself. I'm fighting demons. I'm fighting that nigga that would much rather just lay in the bed at 4:45 in the morning and not get up and go to the gym. Cause I be in the gym, man, around 5:45. I go to that $2,400 a month gym in my building, and I'm in there fighting myself. You know, I think that's the hardest thing about transforming your body is it's a civil war. Realistically, you fighting yourself. You fighting the weakest version of yourself, and that's one thing that I go to war with myself every fucking day. You know, the weakest version of myself, the nigga that want to lay in the bed and not get out the bed, and the nigga that want to decide to get DoorDash and, you know, eat hood Chinese and burritos and drink tequila and drink beer. Like, I'm fighting with that nigga, the old version of myself. That's why I'm fighting every fucking day. You dig what I'm saying? But we gonna win. We gonna win this new war, man. We gonna win the war. The new version of myself. I look at like I'm sculpting my body like, you know what I'm saying? You see the Greek sculptures and shit in Italy, and you got like David and these bronze, like these ivory fucking marble fucking like sculptures of these really jacked dudes. And I feel like every single day I go to the gym, I'm taking one chip away from this slab and, you know, designing my body into the way I want it to be. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I appreciate all y'all for tapping in. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next week.
The world's freshest